Hello everyone, this is Universal Reviews and today I will be reviewing a sci-fi horror movie called Hollow Man. Watch out and take care. Genius scientist Dr. Sebastian Cain has developed a serum that can render a subject invisible. His team of scientists, which includes ex-girlfriend Dr. Linda McKay and Dr. Matt Kensington, eventually enable the serum to work on a female gorilla and restore the animal back to visibility. Sebastian once again becomes obsessed with Linda while unbeknownst to him, she has become involved with Matt. Instead of reporting his success to the military, Sebastian lies to the Oversight Committee, which includes his mentor Dr. Howard Kramer, convincing his team to go right into human testing. The procedure is performed on Sebastian himself. Despite the pain he undergoes, it is successful and Sebastian turns completely invisible. He then enjoys sneaking around the lab in order to scare and play pranks on his fellow co-workers. They become a little concerned that he is taking it too far. After 3 days, however, he is unable to revert to visibility. Sebastian is quarantined in the laboratory due to his condition and the other researchers construct a latex mask for him to wear around the lab. Unable to cope with the isolation, he defies instructions and leaves the building. The guard working there is also very suspicious, but before he can do anything, Sebastian gets into his car and drives off to his apartment to bring some things back to the lab. There, he happens to notice his neighbor disrobing and goes to her apartment where he sexually assaults her. Linda warns him that if he leaves again, she and Matt will tell the committee about the experiment. Ignoring their threat, Sebastian assembles a device that runs a video loop of his heat signature in his quarters. He leaves the lab again and spies on Linda and Matt, becoming enraged when he sees them engaging in sexual intercourse. The team soon discover that they have been watching a recording and that Sebastian has been escaping without their knowledge. Linda and Matt go to Dr. Kramer's house to confess their experiments. After they leave, Kramer attempts to warn colleagues, but Sebastian, who has followed Linda and Matt to the house, cuts off Kramer's phone connection before drowning him in his own pool. The next day, Sebastian waits until all of the team is in the lab and then disables the phones, elevator codes and security IDs except for his own. He removes his clothing and latex mask and, invisible, decides to go on a killing spree, with Janice being his first victim. Linda and the others hide in the lab, while Matt and Carter, using tranquilizer guns and infrared goggles, hunt for Sebastian. While on top of a pipe, Sebastian throws Carter toward a steel bar, which hits his carotid artery, and leaves him mortally wounded. Matt and Sebastian get into a fight. Just before the former is killed, Linda drags him to safety. With Carter dying from his injuries, Sarah heads to the freezer to get blood for a transfusion, but Sebastian snaps her neck. He then impales Frank with a crowbar when he lets his guard down, and locks an injured Matt and Linda in the freezer storeroom, leaving them to freeze to death. Linda then constructs an electromagnet using a defibrillator and other equipment to open the freezer door. She then gathers materials to assemble a flamethrower. Sebastian goes to the lab, where he creates nitroglycerin and puts it in a centrifuge with a timer which is meant to destroy the facility after he leaves. He also smashes the keyboard so nobody can stop the machine. Just as he enters the elevator to leave, Linda appears and fires the flamethrower at him. Sebastian barely manages to escape the flames and the two fight. Before Sebastian can kill Linda, Matt appears and hits Sebastian with the crowbar. Sebastian recovers and approaches the two from behind with the crowbar, but Matt deflects the blow, throwing Sebastian into a nearby circuit box, apparently electrocuting him and rendering him partially visible. Linda and Matt find the nitroglycerin about to explode and decide to climb up the elevator shaft to escape. The two are almost out when Sebastian, despite his injuries, grabs Linda's ankle. He pulls her off the ladder and onto the top of the elevator and forcibly kisses her one last time, before she grabs the elevator cable and unhooks the tether holding the car. Sebastian tries to grab a hold of Linda's foot, but he pulls off her boot and Sebastian falls to his death into the explosion in the shaft below. Linda and Matt emerge from the burning laboratory and emergency personnel take them away in an ambulance. Thank you for watching. Comment which movie you'd like to see next. Take care.